you addicted to? I'm Dr. Sharon Eve. This is Topics in Psychology. Let's talk about addictions. Are all addictions the same? What defines an addiction? I would suggest to you that a good definition, a good working definition of addiction is when you feel so compelled to do something that you just have to do it, even in the face of adverse consequences. Even though there's a negative price that you pay, you still feel like you have to do it. It could be gambling, it can be shopping, it could be drinking, it could be prescription drugs, it can be video games. There can be a lot of things that we do that take us away from feelings that we don't want to feel and that have a negative consequence on our lives in other ways. There may be wreckage that we create if we're drunk and we get DUIs, or if we're shopping and we're in debt and we get further in debt, but we keep shopping. Those are negative consequences. The feelings that addictions take us away from, the thing about being a human being is there are always challenges. If we feel inadequate, if we feel a big sense of shame from earlier on in our life, then that can easily arise when we face a challenge or something new we have to deal with. That sense of inadequacy, we get flooded with that. Sometimes there are feelings of grief, the sadness of loss that we don't want to deal with. And I would suggest to you, by stepping into any of these feelings, it's a way that we care about ourselves to try to understand, what are those feelings about? What are they telling us about who we are and what we need? And so long as I'm covering over them with whatever it is I'm addicted to, in and of themselves, these things aren't necessarily addictive. Just because you shop or eat or drink, it doesn't mean you're necessarily an addict. It's when you do them, even though there are negative consequences. And the other quality I would want to mention here is that when you do them, you get out of control. You think, okay, I'm not going to spend any money this week. I'll go to the mall. I'm just going to buy one thing. And then you come home with bags of stuff. Or you go to a party on a weekend evening and you say, I'm just going to have one drink. But one drink leads into another drink and another drink until you're wasted. That's another one of the signs of addiction, is when you start, you can't stop, or it's really hard to stop. Or maybe you can stop this time, tonight, but tomorrow night, you may not be able to stop. We very often try to hold ourselves together because we don't want to believe we're addicted to something. Because what does it mean to really recognize we're addicted to something? It means we might need to make difficult choices that we don't really want to make. Depending on what it is we're addicted to, we might decide to abstain. For some addictions, abstaining is what gets the best results long term. There are other things like shopping and eating, and they're just everyday things where it might be hard to stop doing that altogether, and not that you would want to. What you would want to do is be honest with yourself and more mindful that if you do that, at what point does it become unhealthy for you? And is there a negative consequence? Being brutally honest with yourself. That's one of the ways that you take care of yourself. Information is power. So I invite you to think about this. If there are addictions that you're aware of, or things maybe that you weren't aware of, that you became aware of, how did you become aware of them? What helped you? What worked for you? If you want to share any of that with us, I'd love to hear it. Other people also get a benefit from the sharing that we all do. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye.